I installed a $15 sensor in my house, and it completely rewired how my entire home works. Not upgraded, not improved, changed. Before this, my smart home waited for me to talk to it. Now it watches, understands, and reacts on its own. In this video, I'm going to show you what that tiny sensor is, where I put it, what it actually does, and how you can use one simple, cheap smart home sensor to turn a normal house into something that feels intelligent, calm, and honestly kind of futuristic. If you've got smart lights, Alexa, Google Home, Home Assistant, Apple Home, Matter, Zigbee, or even just a few plugs, this is one of the highest impact upgrades you can make for almost no money. Because smart homes don't become smart from speakers, they become smart from sensors. And most people get that part wrong. Here's the problem most homes have. We buy smart bulbs, smart locks, smart thermostats, and smart speakers, but then we control everything manually. We say, Alexa, turn on the lights. Alexa, set the temperature. Alexa, lock the door. So the house isn't smart, it's obedient. It only works when you remember to tell it what to do, and that creates tiny friction all day long. Over time, that friction makes people stop using their smart home, not because it's broken, but because it's annoying. The real upgrade isn't another device, it's awareness. Your home needs to know when something is happening instead of waiting for instructions. And that's where this little $15 motion and presence sensor changes everything. All the sensor really does is notice movement and sometimes light or temperature. But once your house knows when people are actually in a space, everything else suddenly makes sense. Lights, climate, security, energy savings, and comfort all depend on one question: is someone here? Before I added it, my home ran on schedules and voice commands. After I added it, my home started running on reality. The first place I installed it was the living room. Before, I walked in and said, Alexa, turn on the lights. Now the moment someone enters, the room wakes up. During the day, nothing happens because there's already light. After sunset, the lights fade on softly. And late at night, they turn on warm and dim so your eyes don't get blasted at 2 a.m. When the room is empty for a few minutes, they turn off automatically. No voice, no buttons, no thinking, and once you live like that, going back feels primitive. Climate control is where sensors quietly save money. Before, my thermostat ran on a schedule, but life doesn't follow schedules. Sometimes you work from home, sometimes you leave early, sometimes you travel, and the VAC ends up heating or cooling an empty house. With a sensor, the system asks one thing: is anyone home? If yes, comfort mode. If no, eco mode. That's it. No calendar gymnastics, no remembering to change settings. And over time, your power bill drops because your house stops wasting energy when nobody's there. The same idea also improves security in a smarter way. If motion happens when nobody is supposed to be home, the house reacts differently. Lights turn on, notifications fire, cameras wake up, not because it's late, but because presence is unexpected, and that's smarter than time-based rules. People think sensors are complicated, but they're not. A sensor is just a trigger. When something happens, it rings, and your system decides what to do. The magic isn't the sensor, it's what you connect it to. Motion plus darkness equals light. Motion plus nobody home equals alert. Motion plus bedtime equals soft lighting. Motion plus morning equals gradual brightness. Presence plus leaving equals locked doors. Presence plus arriving equals welcome scene. You're not coding, You're describing life and letting your house respond. That's when automation stops feeling technical and starts feeling natural. The biggest mistakes people make with sensors are simple. First, bad placement. If the sensor can't see you, it can't help you, so mount them where people naturally move: doors, hallways, entry points, bedsides, not behind furniture or aimed at windows. Second, making things instant. If lights shut off the second you stop moving, you'll hate it, so always add a small delay that feels patient instead of jumpy. Third, trying to let sensors replace everything. You still want switches, voice, and apps. Sensors are assistants, not dictators. They remove effort, not control. Once you add one sensor, your brain starts thinking differently. You stop asking what device to buy and start asking what your house should notice. Should it notice when you wake up, go to bed, leave, arrive, or when a room hasn't been used? That's how smart homes really grow, not by stacking gadgets, but by stacking awareness. Most of these sensors work with Matter, Zigbee, Thread, Home Assistant, Alexa, Google Home, and Apple HomeKit. And you can start with one cheap sensor and build outward into the bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, garage, and office until your home understands more and you manage less. Where this is all going is even cooler. Future sensors won't just detect motion, they'll detect patterns, posture, sound, light changes, and energy usage, and AI will connect those dots. Your house will know when you're busy, resting, stressed, or focused, and it will adjust lighting, temperature, and sound automatically, not because you asked, but because it learned. And that future starts with one simple idea. Your home has to see, not just listen. So let's wrap it up. That $15 sensor didn't add a feature to my home, it added awareness. Lights stopped needing commands, climate stopped wasting money, security became contextual, and my house stopped feeling like a gadget collection and started feeling like a space that understands me. If your smart home still feels dumb, it probably isn't missing devices, it's missing perception. Start with one sensor, fix one annoying thing, teach your house what normal looks like, and watch everything else fall into place. If this helped you rethink your smart home, hit like, subscribe to Build Smart Living, and tell me in the comments where you'd put your first sensor: bedroom, kitchen, hallway, office, or garage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.